Before engine startup flow. Seat adjusted. Seat belt fastened. Passenger briefing completed. Doors closed. Flight controls. Check free. Master switch on. Crossbus right hand on. Pitch trim full deflection then neutral. Engine starting battery voltmeter 12 to 14 volts. Rudder trim full deflection then neutral. Chokes as required. Flaps set takeoff. SAM at first flight of the day, check battery above 80%. Strobe and nav lights on. Fire detectors tested. Right hand and left hand fuel selector on the overhead panel, check on crossfeed position. Right hand and left hand electric fuel pump on, check pressure increase. And then turn them off, check alarm low fuel pressure and pressure decrease. Crossbus right hand off. Now before engine startup checklist. Parking brake engaged. Master switch on. Throttles idle. Propeller levers max RPM. Carburetor heat closed. Chokes as required. Strobe and nav lights on. Doors closed. Before engine startup checklist completed. Right engine start. Right hand electric fuel pump on, check pressure increase. Right hand engine propeller area, check free. Right hand ignition switches, both on. Right hand start push button, push for maximum 10 seconds. Check for oil rising and RPM rising. Right hand throttle lever set 1200 RPM. In case of cold start, engine cold start, choke closed. Right hand field switch on, right hand avionics switch on, right hand crossbus switch on. Right hand ammeter check amps are increasing. Voltmeter check 12 to 14 volts. Right hand electric fuel pump off. Check fuel pressure decreasing and stabilizing. Now, left engine start. Left hand electric fuel pump on, check pressure increases. Left hand engine propeller area, check free. Left hand ignition switches, both on. Left hand start push button, push for maximum 10 seconds. Engine has started up, left hand engine oil gauge, check for increasing oil pressure. Left hand throttle lever, 1200 RPM. In case of cold start engine, choke closed. Left hand field switch on, left hand avionics on, left hand crossbus on. Left hand ammeter check, amps are increasing. Voltmeter check between 12 to 14 volts. Left hand electric fuel pump off. Pressure decreasing and stabilizing. Autopilot master on. Set all your flight instruments and avionics. Set test functions. Altimeters set and cross-check. Max difference 90 feet. Right hand fuel selector on right tank. Left hand fuel selector on left tank prior to taxi. Caution. Let the engine warm up to a minimum oil temperature of 50 degrees at 1200 RPM on both engines. Make sure that the heading bug is set for the departing runway. Set your altimeters, your barrows, and your speeds in the time ref. If you have any CAS messages, clear them. Check that frequencies are set and anticipate any change of frequency once airborne. Set yourself on COM 2 so you could test COM 2 before COM 1. Your flow is over. Complete your taxi briefing, then your departure briefing. Before taxiing checklist, engine instruments, check within limits, master switch, fields, avionics and crossbuses on, electric fuel pumps off, G1000, no caption, altimeters set, taxi brief completed, departure brief completed, before taxiing checklist completed. You will now be performing the engine run-ups on the P2006. Set your aircraft into the wind, facing into the wind, or at 45 degrees. Set parking brake on, taxi light off. Electric fuel pumps both on. Check fuel pressure. Check as well that both fuel sectors are on left and right. Check that T's and P's are in the green. Adjust power on left hand and right hand engines to 1650 RPM. On the right hand engine, check the ignitions one by one. switch right hand ignition on the right hand engine off, switch it back on and check for RPM drop. The maximum RPM drop is 130 RPM. Do the same thing for the left hand engine. Now, cycle the props. Put your thumb on the feather indication so that you don't overshoot. Reduce propeller RPM and check for an RPM drop. On the second time, check for a map increase. On the third time, check for oil decrease in pressure or stable. Do this same operation for the left-hand engine. And now check the idle on both engines. Check that your engines don't stall. Set back 1000 RPM on each engine. And engine instruments check within green arcs.